Welcome back to Trailer Trash Flips. My name is Mac, and I buy things to sell on eBay and try to make a profit. Today is Monday. I've got 16 orders going out for a total of $229.73, and that's just the item price, not counting shipping or anything like that. I might need to change my opening sequence there just a little bit because I am now officially not just selling on eBay. I did do my first cross list on Mercari. It was an item that eBay pulled down that I talked about a while back, and I knew that eBay would probably pull it down even though there were more listed and sold. It often seems like my items are selected for removal when other sellers aren't, but that's a whole nother subject. So I did get that one item cross-listed on Mercari. I got registered, set up, and just a feel for how things are to be listed there. I guess I'm still kind of on the fence on how much effort I want to put into Mercari at this point, because I do want to put some stuff there, but outside of Amazon, of course, eBay is still the king of online marketplaces. So I guess I'm trying to work out in my head how much effort I want to take away from eBay and put towards Mercari, knowing that, you know, those efforts are not going to be rewarded with sales quite as much as eBay. And I need to decide if I'm going to use a cross-listing program or not. The one thing that, unless I made a mistake and didn't see it, I didn't find a custom SKU area on Mercari, which is really not a huge deal because all my eBay items have a custom SKU, so I can just kind of look back and see where that item is. I don't think there's going to be very many things on Mercari that I don't have listed on eBay, although there may be a few things that I can sell on Mercari that I can't sell on eBay. But for the most part, all the items are already going to be listed on eBay. And I hate to even bring up the Whatnot thing because, you know, I really want to sell on Whatnot and I've got the items there ready to go. I just, you know, I don't know, I haven't been motivated to get that whole thing done because I've been spending pretty much all my downtime, you know, listing on eBay. My sales this weekend were pretty good. I had the 16 sales, and I attribute that to doing a nuclear reset late last week because a lot of these items were stale items that just hadn't seen any action. So if you're not doing resets on your store, I would highly recommend it because every time that I do it, it does seem to help. And it's been a while since I've done that, but I do need to do it on more of a regular basis. But I am going to have to change my store subscription so I don't run out of listings. So I've only got 1,000 listings right now, and with 800 something items in my store, you know, one reset and all those listings are gone. So I am going to have to do that. Saturday, I pretty much just did listing and drafts all day. I don't think I went anywhere the whole day. Just did that all day, cooked something Saturday night, and that was my day. Sunday, I went to 5 estate sales. And as usual, I brought my camera and, you know, I'm trying to get footage for some estate sale videos. And, you know, things just never really work out the way you're planning or hoping they do. So 5 estate sales, you know, that's about average for my area. So I should have been able to find probably a reasonable amount of stuff. So my friend Kim and I went to the first estate sale. There was nothing. We went to the second estate sale. There was nothing. We went to the third estate sale. There was nothing. And I was videoing all these estate sales. This may not be true for everyone, but I find the higher end homes in these gated communities, just really high end areas. One of these estate sales was in a country club. What I find is the higher end homes, for the most part, it's not a hard and fast rule, but for the most part, I find less things to buy at these estate sales. And this is not an absolute, but most of the high-end homes I go to, I find they just don't have as much stuff, as much clutter. And I'm not using clutter in a bad way because, you know, I find stuff to sell in that clutter, but they just don't have as much as what I'm looking for. And what they do have is generally pretty expensive things. And I found stuff at higher end estate sales. I just don't find as much of what I'm looking for. And those first 3 estate sales were all that. There was one that was in a country club, and the other 2 were, you know, houses that are probably $600,000, $700,000, $800,000. and they just didn't have a lot of the stuff that I was looking for. So after the first 3, I'm like, there's only 2 left, and I just don't think that, I don't think today's going to be a good day. So we went to the 4th estate sale, and we were there less than an hour before they closed. So I didn't bring my camera in. I walked in, and there was a fair amount of stuff left there in the kitchen where we had walked in. And that estate sale company, which is, I had a previous favorite estate sale company, but this one has, over just the course of the last 2 weeks, they've elevated themselves right to the top. And she's like, we're making deals. We're making deals. So whatever you want, make a pile. We're making deals. The prices they had on items were regular estate sale prices. I would say they were a little on the good side, but it was 50% off because it was Sunday. And beyond that, they needed to clear stuff out. They still had a lot of stuff in this house. So she was making deals. We don't typically buy stuff together because we have separate eBay businesses. And occasionally, like, there might be one thing for $1 or $2, and she may be checking out. I'll say, just get this for me, and I'll give you $1 or whatever. But we typically buy stuff separate. Well, we just started piling stuff together. And I even joked with the estate sale lady, said we could buy our stuff separate, but we're going to buy it together to increase our buying power here. And she said, well, look, don't worry about that. I'm going to make you some incredible deals. So just keep making a big pile because we need to get rid of some of this stuff. Most of the items here, I didn't even comp. The estate sale lady said, if you even think you want it, put it in your pile. When we got ready to check out, there was no sense in trying to separate everything between mine and Kim's stuff. So, we were just going to buy it together, and whatever the price was, we were going to split the cost. And you might not even believe this, but when I asked the lady how much, she told me $40. And I said, I'll give you $50. So me and Kim just split that cost, and we got a lot of good inventory. And really, if I had more room to store items, I would have bought a lot more at this estate sale. The things that I picked were things that I thought were more premium items from here. But there was a lot more items that, they were profitable, but both me and Kim suffer from a lack of storage. Her situation is not near as bad as mine, but we both have very limited storage. So we kind of had to pick the cream of the crop stuff. It even crossed my mind that, it would almost be worth it to go get a storage unit, just a small one, to store some of these items because we could have got a killer deal on them. But then I'm right back to the situation where I'm at, where I don't have the time to list all the inventory I already have, not counting this estate sale. So, time is still the limiting factor in my life on how many items I can get listed. So we left that estate sale, and that was the 4th one, so there was 1 left. And we really debated about going to this estate sale because we didn't have hardly any room, and it was getting pretty late in the day. We decided that we would go by the estate sale because it was not very far out of the way on my way back home. So we stopped at it, and I bought a few things there. Nothing big, just the typical amount that I usually come away from estate sales with 4, 5, 6 items, something like that. I found a killer deal on some pants there, and I'm not a clothing seller, but I found like some really large size, like 54 by 30 pants that had comps of about $20 or so, pre-owned. So I bought, I think, 3 pairs of those, and I bought one of the same pairs that was brand new, and it was 40% off at this estate sale. So I guess I paid roughly $280, something like that, per pair. But as an overall, Sunday was an excellent sourcing day. Okay, I've rambled on long enough about this, so I've got a lot of orders to pull and pack and get to the post office, so I'm going to go pull those items right now. In H3, I've got 2 Magic Bullet replacement blades. And these sold for $6.84 plus shipping. I've got an item here on the overcrowded, overstuffed LP1 shelf. It's a swimming pool leaf vacuum, and this sold for $17.19 plus shipping. In O10, I've got a keycap set, and this sold for $12.59 plus shipping. In H4, I've got a shelf liner. This sold for $10.29 with free shipping. In H6, I've got some antifungal cream. I don't know what that's doing in there. And this sold for $7.99 plus shipping. In 05, I've got a Belly Dancing 3 DVD set. And this sold for $20.65 plus shipping. I've got 3 more items on the overcrowded LP shelf. First is this Parks and Recreation game. It sold for $6.84 plus shipping. The boots sold for $14.89 plus shipping. And the massage roller cane sold for $13.74 plus shipping. In E4, I sold a watch. It's a Nokia Sugar Bowl watch, and it sold for $18.34 plus shipping. In 012, I sold some labels. And these sold for $16.04 plus shipping. Back to the LP shelf, but on the other side, I sold this Taylor digital wireless rain gauge and thermometer, and it sold for $22.95 plus shipping. Back in my eBay room, and I sold on the black shelf Telestrations After Dark, and this sold for $13.40 plus shipping. I sold this Serta sheep, which I've already got packed up here, and it sold for $20.64 plus shipping. And the last item is a video game in the L bin. Dragon Age Origins, and it sold for $17.05 plus shipping. Here's everything going out today. Not too bad for a low sell rubbish seller like myself. But first, this is the sheep, and obviously I'm not going to unpack this. I did go ahead and pack it up nice and secure since it was a bobblehead. That way I didn't have to do it when I was ready to ship it. But I got this at an estate sale for $2.50. This Taylor wireless rain gauge and thermometer came from an estate sale. It was $3 fill a bag. We got there really late, and they were literally just throwing stuff from this estate sale into boxes and tote bins to go donate it. And I was almost having a fight with the lady, not literally, but you know, like when I saw something, I needed to get it, because if not, she was throwing it in a tote to go donate it. So I've got less than $3 into this because, you know, there was other stuff in the bag. The Just for Men, I pulled this yesterday. I had a message from a potential buyer about the expiration date, and he said that, you know, when there's no expiration date listed, then it should be assumed that the product is expired, which, you know, I don't quite agree with. But I did go pull this just to see if I had missed the expiration date, because when I looked at my listing, there was no expiration date in there. And it's not beyond me to forget to put that. So I pulled this out of the bin, looked at it, there is no expiration date on it. So I looked up this exact same product from other sellers on eBay, and none of them, there was only a couple, but none of them had an expiration date listed on theirs. So I looked up some other Just for Men products, and I didn't find any expiration dates. The only thing I found was it said in one listing that it expires 3 months after opening. But apparently Just for Men does not put expiration dates, or maybe they don't put expiration dates on everything, but it didn't have one. So I messaged him back, and he ended up buying it last night. This Telestrations After Dark game, I'm guessing this probably came from Goodwill. I've had it for a while, so I don't really remember for sure. But being that it's a sealed board game, I'm sure I know it didn't come from an estate sale. It would have either came from a garage sale or Goodwill, and probably it came from Goodwill. So I don't know how much I have into that, but I wouldn't have bought it for more than probably $3. The Dragon Age Origins video game came from an estate sale. I paid $2.50 for that. These are some Mars keycaps, and I got this from the bin store. It was either 50 cents or $1, but it was missing a few of the keys. So I went through it, made sure what it was missing, took pictures, you know, in the title of the listing, I put read description. So it did finally sell. This pool cleaner came from the bin store, probably $2 if I remember correctly. These labels came from the bin store. I believe these were 50 cents each, so I've only got $1 into both of these. The Massage Roller King came from the bin store. It was $1. The Parks and Recreation game came from the bin store, and I'm almost positive that I paid $1 for that. These two items, both bin store items, and either 50 cents or $1 for each of those. The belly dance video, again, came from the bin store, and I think it was $1. The Gorilla Grip drawer and shelf liner was 50 cents from the bin store. These boots, I don't know, it's like scuba diving boots or something like that. I don't really know. But these came from the bin store for $2. And the last item is this Nokia Sugar Bowl watch, which came from a garage sale. I think I've only got $1 into it. It's not really a fancy watch or anything. I did find either one or two sold comps when I listed this. The battery was dead in it, so I went and bought a new battery and put in it. This was last year at some point. I don't really remember how long I've had it. But the watch works. It actually looks pretty good. Let's see. Has a little tarnish on it. Not anything too bad though. And of course I disclosed all that in the listing. Man, I am sweating big time. I did not turn the air conditioner on early enough, and it got hot really quick. It went from, I don't want to say cool, but it really just wasn't hot. And it went from not really that hot to hot very quickly. And you've probably heard me say before, if you've been watching for any length of time, my eBay room does not get good airflow. So I didn't get my air conditioner on in time, and I'm paying the price for that right now. From the last estate sale that I went to, where everything was 40% off, I picked up these Shih Tzu plates. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I had to put my Shih Tzu down, I think in December. And so I really love Shih Tzu. So I decided that I would get these. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them or sell them. I kind of want to keep them as a tribute to the Shih Tzu that I had. So I don't know what I'm going to do with those yet. I picked up this Skip-A-Disc, and I only saw one comp on eBay for like $20. I found this sitting around just unlabeled in a tote. I asked her how much it was. She said $1, so I only ended up paying 60 cents for it. And I figured, you know, I could definitely take a chance on it at that. Now, I didn't see any comps on this Saturday Down South cap. It was marked $5, so I ended up paying, you know, roughly around $3 for it. I don't know anything about it, but I did pick it up. I thought it looked like a pretty cool hat, and I figured, you know, again, at around $3, $2.80, something like that, I would take a chance. Now, this thing is really cool. It's this Frankenstein monster, and if you press his hand, he plays Monster Mash, which I'm pretty sure I can't get away with that, because it seems that any little bits and pieces of songs get copyright violations on my videos. But there was a comp for this for about $20. The comp said it's vintage. I didn't see any year or anything on the tag, but either way, I do like this, so I may just keep it. I don't know. I really need to stop keeping things. I found this, I don't know if it's vintage, but it's kind of 80s looking, this non-slip mug. It was only $1, so I ended up paying 60 cents for it. And it's got this advertising on it, which to me just screams 80s. I don't know if it's that old, but comps on these were pretty good. Obviously none with this advertising on it, but I think that this is going to probably do okay. Now, in terms of probably just a ridiculous buy, I found this R. Kelly Gotham City Single, and it was $1, so I paid 60 cents for that. I don't even know why I bought it. It was there, it was cheap, so I just grabbed it. And finally, I've got 4 pairs of these True Nation athletic stretch pants. Obviously this one is new with the tags. It's a really big size, 56 by 30. I didn't see comps on any new ones. The tag says $64.50, but you know, that's not always quite true with how much they go for. These 3 pairs are used but in excellent shape, and there were comps for about $20 a piece for these. So I think these were a good buy. These were all marked $5, so I ended up paying about, you know, $2.80, $2.90 for these. Here's the first round of stuff that I got from the big estate sale buy. I got 3 Fire King bowls. I run across Fire King fairly often, but the Fire King stuff that I run across really isn't usually very valuable. but I knew that I was going to be getting a pretty good deal, so anything that I thought I might possibly want, I put in my pile. So the 3 Fire King bowls, this Quanta-Ray camera case, I think it's a camera case, did not comp that. I've got this glove. I did comp this glove. It is a Wilson autographed model something. It's not very valuable, maybe $12 or $14. I found a Bell's Best cookbook. I'm not sure which year this is. It says copyright 1981, but then there's all these other printings, so I don't really know how to tell when this one was printed. I mean, it's obviously an older book, but I know these have some value. I've just never really ran across one in the wild. That's the first one I found. I found this kind of vintage, I'm pretty sure this is vintage, autograph book from Disney World. There is somebody's name on the first page, so I'll leave that out. Love Your Pal Gideon. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Chip, Mickey Mouse, Goofy, Dale, Pluto, Donatello. So it's got a few more signatures in it. This is another thing that I don't know if it has any value or not, but I was getting such a good deal. Didn't really matter. I could definitely get it and see later. I got a vintage Regal Polyperk, and it does have all the stuff in it. Don't know if it works. Didn't bother checking it yet. And I found a tater twister. I've been looking for one of these, not so much for resale, but for myself. And this one looks almost like it's almost never been used. And I think all the parts are here from what I could tell. So I was actually pretty excited about finding one of those for myself. And there is a Krups waffle maker. Looked to be in pretty good shape. Let me see if I can get this thing unlocked. Oh, it's dirty, no doubt about it, it's dirty, but I didn't see where the coating was all messed up or anything like that. I did comp this item because this is something that I found when I first got there, and that was before I knew that we were going to be getting such a good deal and everything. And it, you know, I don't remember what the comps were, but you know, it was definitely worth picking up. Next, I found a Sony Handycam. I don't have any idea if it works or not. I don't know if there's any accessories in here or not. I didn't look. To tell you the truth, whenever I walked into one of the rooms, there was a guy holding the camera looking at it, and I kind of stood by him, and I was looking at the case, and he went to sit the camera down, and I said, okay, I'll take that from you and put it back in the back, which I did. I mean, he obviously didn't want it, but I was glad that he put that down. I was looking to see what was in here. Some old hand sanitizer. I know it does have a battery on the camera, but I'll check that out and see if it works. All right, next I found this wall art. I don't know what you call this, a shadow box or something. It's got 3 chickens in the background and some chicken wire. I don't know. I kind of thought about keeping this, even though I don't really have a place to hang it, but I just kind of liked it. As I was going through all the stuff, I kind of brought it in and put it in different piles. I realized that I didn't have everything here that I was supposed to have. For example, this is something that Kim bought that somehow ended up in my stuff. And I found these set of chili bowls. They're brand new in the box. It's a set of 4. And I also had a smaller box with a similar type thing in it, which I don't have here. So those are probably still in her vehicle or at her house. And I also had a Canon, I think it was a Canon camera that I bought, and I know that that's at her house because she said that she had it. But anyway, I got this, and I've got 2 of these Roto-Arm Revolution Hot Wheels wall tracks. Both of these are brand new in the box. Now this one here on the front, it has not been opened, but you can see the glue's kind of coming off, but they are definitely brand new in the box. I also found a Salad Master grater, and got all the grating wheels or cups or whatever you call it with it. So I think this is probably going to do okay. I also found, I didn't take this and check it or anything, but this Oreck handheld canister vacuum with, it looks to be like quite a few of the attachments, maybe all of them. And you know, this by itself would cost more than what I paid for the whole lot, including Kim's stuff, not just mine. So before I go, always remember that one man's rubbish is another man's treasure. That's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. As always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.